Some breaking news, Middlecoff. The 49ers,
what's that?
The 49ers just got a draft pick on January 21st. Another one.
Wow. They are cleaning up. Is this their second, third-round pick of the last week?
It is.
It must be not. And, it rolls over, too, 2022 as well.
Before we get into that, don't forget, we appreciate when you subscribe and like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Check out the podcast below in the description as well.
So here's what we're talking about. So John Keim, who is the ESPN Nation reporter that covers the WFT, the Washington football team, just tweeted, per source, Martin Mayhew will be the new GM in Washington. Not sure yet about Marty Herney or his potential role, but Mayhew is the GM. The reports had been that Herney was going to be the GM, right? That's what it
Yes,
had
that was
appeared.
a report. As of, we're recording this Thursday, as of on Wednesday, he was the GM.
So if this report is correct, the Niners don't get a pick if Martin Mayhew goes and does not become the GM, but they do get a pick. Minority candidate becomes the general manager. They get a third rounder, just like they did, or they get two, just like they did for Robert Saleh.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, if I would have told you a year ago that Martin Mayhew became a GM faster than Adam Peters, I don't think would you believe me?
No, I would not have believed you.
No. So I would say that was pretty shocking in the sense of this guy became a GM before their, I wouldn't say rising star, but like their number two guy, the guy that got all the credit for being like kind of helping them pick players and who's been interviewing now the last couple of years for these jobs. A little shocking. And the Niners benefit. Like the Niners benefited their draft and really their future of their team. Adding 2 third-rounders, which I'm pretty sure they don't have a third-rounder this year. Well, they add 2 third-rounders, so they have a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and 2 third-round picks. That's pretty big little addition. All because Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch felt comfortable in hiring Robert Saleh and adding Martin Mayhew once upon a time, and it led to this. I don't love this rule. It obviously benefits the Niners, and if these picks turn out well, it benefits me and you because we talk a lot about the Niners, and I would love them to make another Super Bowl run. The better they do, the better our business is, and the more fun it is to do this. I'm not trying to complain. It doesn't. They went 6-10. It's still, you could talk about football, but I'd rather have them be winning. But the reality is, to me, this job, or I mean this incentivized, it doesn't really. It almost takes away from Martin Mayhew got a GM job. Why? Because once upon a time, he was a general manager. And actually, when you look at his time, like he drafted a lot of really good players when he was in Detroit. Ndamukong Suh. I think there was a long list of guys. I can't even think of them off the top of my head. But they went to the playoffs a couple times with the core of his roster. And I remember when John Lynch hired him, they had played together in Tampa. And I never met him. I don't know much about him. But everyone seems to like him. And it's, Ron hired him to be his general manager, and glad for this guy to get another opportunity, and the Niners benefit. I get what the league is trying to do, but it's kind of crazy the Niners get 2 extra third-round picks just because Robert Saleh and Martin Mayhew get a job.
It is, and I don't know. Like to me, it's only working if people are getting hired because of this. And I don't know that there's much evidence that anyone's been hired because in 2 or 3 years when that person leaves, we might be able to get a compensatory.
You're saying the team is hiring the guy hoping they get third-round picks.
Yeah, like Kyle Shanahan didn't just promote D'Amico Ryans. Like, man, if this goes well in 3 years, I'm getting a third.
Yeah.
Right? So I do think some of it is probably just trying to project that, look, we're trying to do everything we can. Look at what we're trying to do. So whatever.
You know the 3 people. Yeah, I mean, the 3 people that so far that benefited this year: Sean McVay, Sean Payton, and Kyle Shanahan. And I think all of them to a man would tell you, I hired him because I thought they were the best guy for the job. Right? I didn't envision. I mean, they never would have known at the time.
Who did Sean McVay lose?
The Holmes, the GM for the Lions.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's Les Snead, Sean McVay, or whatever. But
yeah.
I'm just saying Sean McVay, Sean Payton, and Kyle Shanahan. I was like, yeah, those 3 coaches get an extra third-round pick. People are like, what, serious? Right? Again, I understand the optics of the rule and the intent of what the league is trying to promote. I just wonder, like, the Niners are directly benefiting greatly this year and next year. That's 4 third-round picks, guy, for losing people that they just hired them because they were one guy's a high-level defensive coordinator. The other guy was a former GM. Like it wasn't pretty normal hires, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when they hired Martin Mayhew, we thought, God, this is for, especially because
He was
John
like
Lynch did not
remember
have
he was
any
like a
GM
consultant
experience.
kind of at first. He was just going
Yeah,
to be
but it
like
was
kind of
like,
there.
okay, so you got John Lynch, no GM experience, but you got this guy who's been a GM in Martin Mayhew. You got another guy who looks like he could become a GM soon, and Adam Peters. This is a hell of a little group you just acquired. It seems like you've got somebody to complement each other's weaknesses. He was the GM from 2008 to 2015 in Detroit, and you're right. I mean, you just draft for that long. Lincoln Tomlinson, Amir Abdullah, Quandre Diggs was a 6th-round pick. Eric Ebron, Kyle Van Noy, Ziggy,
Sue.
your boy Ziggy Ansah, Darius Slay, Theo
Yeah.
Riddick, Tahir Whitehead was a 5th-rounder. Yeah, well, Sue was 2010. Stafford was 09. Is he gonna go get Stafford now?
Not out of the realm of possibility.
So,
But if I
he
just
played
told
for the
you
Washington football team,
4 first-rounders for the Niners, 4 third-rounders for the Niners, if I just offered 4 third-rounders, does that get me like a good starter and a special team player? Like that's a lot of value. I mean, it's cheap players. It's in a round where you're still getting starting players under league minimum contracts.
yeah,
It's just the second and third round is a powerful position. Really, the third round though, because they're so cheap. For the first 2 or 3 years of their career.
right.
Fred Warner, I mean, he was an all-pro making $850,000. It's hard to beat that.
No,
And trust me,
and
John Lynch will be like, we'll never beat that again because we're about to pay him.
well, what do the best drafters say though? You need a lot of swings, and the Niners just added several swings. And you're right, they didn't have a third. That's the third is what they sent to Washington for Trent Williams.
Oh yeah,
So that's what their third was. So good come up for the Niners. This is
yeah.
what you call letting your money make money.
Yeah. You just hire high-level guys, and there's an element of luck to this all too, right? I mean, it's just like he just knew Martin Mayhew. They played together. Wow.